Hey crafters, so today is Tuesday, since I did my video on Sunday. Monday morning I woke up with fluid in my ear and a lot of pressure because it's allergy season for me, so I had to take care of my ear yesterday before it got really bad. So I didn't do any crocheting on Monday, but on Sunday when I was working on the border, and I left the blanket unattended. Whoops, sorry. I left the blanket unattended for like 5 minutes, and I come back and Bandit, my youngest cat, he was chewing on the yarn. He chewed through it. I had to cut out the spot where he chewed. It was like a whole good 2 feet of yarn, and it was full of cat slobber, and I had to cut it out. So here it is. See? He chewed through the yarn, so I have to take this and connect it back to this. I mean, I'm almost through this skein of yarn, and then I'm going to use up all those little leftovers, except for the white, because we know the white just doesn't match properly. But I am going to use up all those leftovers, because I don't want to put leftovers in my yarn pile, right? So, here we go. I've got, how many rounds of the border have I done so far? 1, 2... Wait, I can't see through the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on the 5th round of the border. See? So, I loaded up YouTube. I'm gonna sit in my chair. I'm gonna connect the yarn with the Russian join that I like to do, and then I'm gonna sit and catch up on some YouTube videos because I haven't watched YouTube in days. Yeah, so let's go do that. Alright, crafters, so I'm still working on the border. I've already used one of my little balls of yarn that I have, okay? And as I'm doing this, I realized that I need to decide, for the last round, I'm probably going to do, a reverse single crochet or a crab stitch, and I know that I want the 2 purples to be on the last round. So now I have to decide, out of these 5 left here, how much am I going to need to do that last round, and it really is just a guessing game. So I would like to see this color on the last round with the purples, and maybe one of these. I'm thinking this color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these 4 off to the side and say, okay, this is for the border. Okay, and I'm just guessing on how much I need. And this is going to be, this is going to be the last round of the border. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Last round of the border. And this is going to be just however many rounds I can get out of it. So I'm going to use this one, then this one, then this one. Okay. And hopefully my guesses will be right and I'll have enough. I don't know. Wish me luck. I'm watching videos while I'm listening to YouTube videos in the background. Okay, so I'll get back to you. Okay, crafters, so I have got 6 rounds of the border here, okay? And I'm getting ready to do that last round that I want to do in the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet. Okay, crafters, my blanket is done. I have put a new border on it and I think it looks so much better. Okay, I did use this color blue that they call wavelength, and I went all the way around. I think I've got 6 rounds of the blue, and then those little bits of purple I had, I put purple up there, and then blue, and then I did purple down here, and then blue as my last round. I think it looks so much better. I did do crab stitch or reverse single crochet as my last round, and you can see it's starting to roll in and curl on me. I've got to get it in the washer so I can lay it out on the floor and shape it a little bit so it'll stop curling up like that. So you see I did have just enough purple to get from this corner all the way down to that corner on both ends, okay? So there we go. Let me get it washed, and then I'll get it in the washer. I'll dry it. Well, I won't dry it. I'll lay it out on the floor, and then I'll come back to you with more of the numbers, how much yarn I used, and how big the blanket is, and that sample to show you how to do the extended half double crochet. All right, so I'll get back to you guys in a couple hours. You know what, guys, while the blanket's in the washer, what do you say I show you how to do the extended half double crochet? And you'd be like, what's the point of doing a stitch like this when it just looks like the double crochet? Well, the thing is, the half double is, it can be a very dense, thick stitch, which is good because sometimes that's what you want. But you also want that denseness of the stitch, but you want it to be a little taller. And this is, I think, in my opinion, how it happens. Okay? Let's see if I can. How's that? Okay, so I'm working up a little sample here, and hopefully you guys can see this. So, you know, for the half double, you yarn over, go through your 2 loops, yarn over, pull through and pull up a loop, right? And this is where you would yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. But for the extended, you're just going to yarn over and pull through that first loop, okay? That's what extends your stitch. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So there you go. An extended half double. There we go again. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, just take off the 1 loop, and then do all 3. Okay, so I'm going to show you the regular half double, which is this and that, right? Easy peasy. But we're going to extend it, make it a little bit taller. Yarn over, insert your hook. Okay. Now there are plenty of other tutorials on YouTube, on the internet. That's where I found it all years ago, back in 2018. I found it on the internet, and then I went completely obsessed with it and made a lot of things with it. And then I stopped and went to learn a new technique somewhere, as I do. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull through. So then you got your 3 loops that you would normally take off, but you're going to take off 1 loop first, which extends it, and then take off the 3 loops for the half double. Easy peasy. Sorry. Remember, I'm working around the camera. Now, me, when I do this, when I pull up this loop here, I actually pull it just a little bit to loosen it up just a bit. And I pull it again just to loosen it up just a little bit. If you don't do that, it can wind up being very tight, like this and like this. And some people like that. By all means, if you crochet tightly and that's the way you like doing things, me, I crochet big and loose. So remember, everybody has their own way of doing it. It's not wrong. My way is not wrong. Your way is not wrong. It's just different. And it depends on what kind of look you're going for. Now, I did tell you in my video that I was playing around on which loops I was working into. Because with the half double crochet, you wind up with 3 loops, okay? This loop here would have been on the back when I was on the other side, okay? But now it's on the front. It's the 3rd loop, okay? And then there's these 2 here, which actually turn themselves towards the back of the work. Those These two are the traditional loops that you would work into. Okay? Turns out I was messing around. I did try it with this third loop and one of the top loops, okay? But I didn't like the look of it. And then I tried it with just the back loop, which was just one loop, and I didn't like the look of it. So I changed my mind and I did it through these two traditional loops on the top. So don't listen to me in my last video, because it turns out I was experimenting and I never updated my notes. So I had done my extended half double crochets in the traditional two loops that are here on the top. Now, this little tutorial is for people who already know the basics of crocheting. Once I get done with my blanket pile, my project pile, I will do tutorials on the basics, but it's not just yet. I'm getting there. Oops. So there we go. The extended half double crochet. So you know that there is an extended single and an extended double. So here's the extended single, okay? Through the two loops, right? And then normally you would yarn over and pull through these two loops, but you're going to yarn over and pull through one, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through two. So there's the extended single. The extended double, okay, you go like this, and then you take off two and take off two. Now you see, made that double really tall, and it made the single really tall. Me, I think it works best with the half double, but I have done the extended double and the extended single. I have done them in other projects. I think it just works better in the half. So I hope this makes sense for you guys, and I hope the camera's not too blurry. It is hard to work around the camera. So while my blanket is in the washer, I am going to go to my project pile and pick out what I want to do next Sunday. Of course, I could sit here and crochet like this all day long, though. It's just a little sample. I only chained like 15. Big hook, so I can show you what's going on. Let me know if the white color yarn works for this. This is my footstool, and there's a blanket and a pillow back there. Yeah, can you hear my washer running in the background? This is my new camera that I'm working with, and the microphone picks up a lot of noise in the house. I hope you guys don't mind. Extend it, and then there's your half. So extended half double crochet. Alright, so hopefully you guys got that. Okay, here we go. Alright, so the blanket is out of the washer, and I have it laying on the floor, and I spread it all out. And then while it's on the floor, I just go like this. Try to flatten out that border, okay? Because when it single crochets, around and around and around. They like to curl. So I just have a sheet on the floor. And that's all I do just to shape the blanket. I just go like this with my hand. Just flatten it out as much as possible. Okay, and when it's mostly dry, I will stick it in the dryer to tumble it just a little bit on low heat. So once it's dry, I will get back to you guys with all the other details. Okay, crafters, it is now Thursday. What do you say we get this blanket done? I know, life sure does get in the way, doesn't it? Okay, so I started out with, where are my notes? Let's do the yarn first, okay? This is the yarn label. Loops and Threads. It's sold exclusively at Michael's, the craft store. It's called Snuggly Wuggly Dip Dye, but it's been discontinued. Then they brought it back, and then it's been discontinued again. And now it's just solid colors. So you guys won't be able to find these variegated colors anymore unless you go shopping elsewhere. So it's a number 3 light or DK weight. It's 100% acrylic. This ball of yarn was 4 ounces, and it took 6.5 balls of yarn to make the blanket, which came out to be about 26 ounces of yarn. Okay. Oh, I do have other numbers for that in case anybody does grams. About 700 grams of yarn. Okay. So there we go. Discontinued yarn. I started this blanket September 2018, and now it is officially done in March of 2023. 4.5 years. Okay. I did a chain of 145 plus 2. My first row is single crochet, which is 145 stitches. My second row is the extended half double crochet. Okay, and I will be showing, there should be a clip of a sample. And then row 3 all the way up into the last row is still an extended half double crochet. It's just I didn't do it in the back loop. I did it in the traditional loops at the top. So ignore that. And then the last row was single crochet. And then I did 6 rounds of the border, plus the 7th round was the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet. Okay, let's see. I got 55 rows of the purple color with the extended half double and the 1 row of single crochets and the chain. So I actually got a lot of usage out of the purple. With the blue, I had 3 balls of the blue and 3 balls of the purple. With the blue, I only got 49 rows and then 1 row of single crochet. But the blues also, I had so much left over that I got 6 rounds of the border out of the blue color. Okay. All right. And then with the new border that I put on there, it is 44 inches wide, which is, you know, left and right, and then 62 inches tall, which is top to bottom. Okay. So I think that is all my notes. And yeah, I told you it cost me about $14. Some of the yarn was on sale, some of it wasn't. The hook size was an H, and I put what color hook I used. I used my dark purple hook. So this blanket is officially done. It's been washed, it's been dried. But I wanted to show you the colors. Aren't they gorgeous? And it's a shame that Michael's doesn't make this variegated yarn anymore, because I really did like the color changes. So the purple they called Purple Haze, so it goes from that darker purple and then eventually fades into the, well, actually my ball of yarn started with the medium shade and then went to the darker shade and then started all over with this white that has a lot of purple. It's a very, 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 very pale shade of purple, and into this mix of purple and pink, into this shade and into this one and into the dark one, and then see how it starts all over again. But this ball of yarn was a bit different than the first one, because you see how it's got these little dips. Dip dye, that's why they called it dip dye. I call them speckles, but it's kind of got a tie-dye effect to it. And then my third ball of yarn was like that too. And you see how it's like a purple, pink, white all mixed together. It's a shame that the yarn companies can do whatever they want and we have to put up with them always changing their minds about what they think is trending and popular, because it was a good set of colors. And then you see this ball where it doesn't really have any of the dip dye or tie dye feature to it or any of the speckles. It's just gradient yarn. And then here's where I moved into the blue, which I really, really like the way the blue came out. This is kind of turquoise, kind of aqua, but with white to it. This is a really pretty color. I am drawn to this every time I see it. And into these darker shades of blue. Now, I think my skeins of blue were a bit more consistent than the purple ones were. But remember, they manufactured this yarn in 2015 and 2016 because they have the manufacture date on the labels. Let's see if I can find it for you. Right here, it says 2015. So that's when they manufactured it, but I didn't buy it until 2017. It's pretty, right? And then there's my border. 6 rounds for the border, and then the 7th round is the reverse single crochet, or what we call the crab stitch. It is when you work backwards, and it gives you this loop that gives you some texture. So I had just enough purple to go from this corner down here to this corner on the short sides, okay? And then the rest of it is done in blue. So then down at the other end of the blanket, you should have noticed, I had enough purple to do it on this side for the short end. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Okay, so there we go. It is done. Alright, crafters, this blanket is officially done, okay? And I do love the way it came out. I love trying out new yarns, and I like trying out new stitches, for sure. So 4.5 years into making, and it is finally done. Now, I'm going to skip doing the Etsy bit today because this video has already gone on long enough. Some other day I'll show you what it looks like for Etsy for me. So now I have, because you know I've been doing purging while I've been doing this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 yarn labels I can now throw away. I've got my very crappy notes I'm going to throw away because I rewrote my notes in a really nice, pretty format, so I can stick this in my notebook. I have my hook I can now put away because I keep telling you guys, I leave my hooks with the projects until the project is completely done. So now I can put my hook away. I love my purple hook. I've been looking for it. And then I do have a little bit of yarn to put in my yarn stash. The white, which is Loops and Threads, Snuggly Wuggly, Baby Sport they call it. Alright, so I had used the white and then I had taken it out. So I do have white left over. And then, because I was guessing on the border on how much I needed, I actually do have this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my cabinet with all my variegated yarn for when I make another Patchwork Squares blanket. And I have a broken tape measure that I really should throw away because it the button is broken and it won't leave. Anyway, so there we go. There's more purging that I can be doing. Hopefully I gave you every little bit of information that I can think of. The yarn, the weight of the yarn, how many ounces were in there, grams, hook size, the pattern itself, the cost, how big it is. I think I gave you all the information. If you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments below. Alright, I don't know how to do this part. I signed up at a website called buymeacoffee.com. It's a donating website where I can put the link down in my description box, and if you guys feel moved to, you can donate $1, $3, $5. It'll help me offset some of the costs that it does doing YouTube videos. So I'm going to be putting the link down below, although the website's called buymeacoffee.com, but my dashboard that I have, I changed it to buy me a cup of tea because I don't drink coffee. That's only if you guys feel moved to donate. The reason that this video is coming out on Thursday instead of Wednesday is because my battery died on my camera. I only have one battery. By the time it was done charging, it was dark out, and I had lost the light, so I couldn't finish filming. And today it's all kinds of gray out there. So thank you guys again for being here. I love each and every single one of you, and I appreciate everything and all the comments in the comment section. You guys are wonderful. So this blanket is done. I do have the next blanket lined up. It's going to be the waffle stitch blanket. Okay. But I had done it wrong when I had done it years ago. Turns out I was doing it a little bit differently than everybody else. It was my first try at it. So that's with the blanket I have lined up for Sunday, and I will see you guys then. Bye.